Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. Happy Saturday morning. Saturday morning, what time is it? It is 8:41 a.m. here in Chicago time. But I wanted to come on here because I heard some new things about the Botham John case. And so I want to start off like this. I wanted to know, was there anyone just like me, what was it anyone that when they put probably seeing on the news or seeing some posting that said that they did a search warrant Thursday of Botham's apartment and they found some marijuana, did you have the same reaction that I did, which was like, really? We already knew that this was going to happen. They were waiting to try to find something bad to say about this man because they couldn't find anything else. My whole response to that was, and then what? Because you found marijuana in his home. The United States of America is damn near making it legal now because they done found a way for them to collect the money off of it. So, okay, and then what? Okay, he had a little marijuana. You probably got a little marijuana. And then what? That says nothing about the person that he was. You couldn't find anything, so then you tried to throw that out there. But what I found interesting is when I heard that they found police equipment in his home. I said, what? Police equipment? So let me just go over a few things first. Some things about this case. Just, maybe you done heard of it, maybe you haven't, but I'm gonna throw it out there again. It says, now I got this from dallasnews.com. I'm gonna try to remember where I got this from. But then again, I'm sticking the links and putting everything on my Facebook page. So make sure you go follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. The link is down in the bio. It says, according to the arrest warrant affidavit, Amber Geiger inserted her key, which has an electronic chip, okay, into the keyhole, but the door was slightly ajar. It was slightly open. So the force of inserting the key pushed the door open. Geiger told police that when she went inside the dark apartment, she saw a silhouette and thought that she was being burglarized. She drew her gun, gave commands that were ignored, and fired twice, striking John once in the torso. The affidavit stated. She then turned on the lights. So after all of that happened, then she turned on the lights and realized she was in the wrong apartment, according to police records. Now, is this from the same? I don't remember where I got this from, but this is something else I screenshotted reading news articles this morning. It says that this is from somewhere else. It was unclear how the officer, Amber Geiger, got into the wrong apartment where residents said they can access their units with a regular key or a key code. So since the other article said that these keys got chips in it, so we know that even if she stuck her key in there trying to open the door up, that it wouldn't have worked because of the chip that's inside of the key. So I guess that's why she used the excuse of when she went to stick her key in, the door was already slightly ajar. So then the force of sticking the key in just popped the door open. Now, Alyssa Kinsey is a next door neighbor, and she said John's unit looked the same as everyone else's. So this hallway, this door, this all of that looked the same as everyone else's from the outside, but it did have a red half moon shaped rug outside the door. Okay. Now, remember what I said about the door, how she said she stuck the key in the door and the door was already slightly open. So from the force of her putting the key in, just popped the door open. Okay. Now I got this from BET.com and I actually like this article. It says, according to King, and I think this is a civil rights activist, he said the witness statements which allege Geiger was banging or pounding. Wait a minute. Nope, I need to go back. It says, as more witnesses come forward, their recollection of what happened that night Botham John was murdered in his home by Amber Geiger, activist Sean King has presented his own theory of what happened. It says, according to King, the witness statements which alleged Geiger was banging or pounding on John's door while shouting, "Let me in," proves She was not only aware it was his apartment, but she intentionally confronted him. They heard knocking down the hallway, followed by a woman's voice that they believed to be Officer Geiger saying, "Let me in, let me in." Lee Merritt, an attorney to John's family, told reporters. King believes her previous noise complaints and the long shift she worked are both reasons why she went to speak with John that night. King tweeted that he thinks Geiger was exhausted and frustrated when she went to tell John to turn his music down and ultimately wound up killing him. Now, this is what he tweeted. He said, "Forget everything you think you know for a moment." Okay. He said, "And now imagine a cop who just got off a 16-hour shift, got home, wants to sleep, and notices the person living above her has loud music on. She has reported him before." Now, have they really told us about that? Now, you think that they would have showed those reports already. I mean, because dang, the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know what date we on, but ain't we like past a week? Because this happened Thursday, September 6th, that evening is when he was killed. I mean, good grief. So where are those papers at that's showing us that she had reported him, I guess, for music? Um, Then he said 2 different witnesses have said that they are 100% sure that they heard Dallas police officer Amber Geiger repeatedly knock slash banging on the door of Botham Jean, demanding that he open up the door. Okay. It says, is this the one I want to read? As the case against Bills, they wrote that wrong. As the case builds against Amber Geiger, the white cop who fatally shot Botham John in his own apartment, more details have surfaced and created even more questions about her statement. First, the version of the events before the shooting have already been contradicted by 2 witnesses. While Geiger claims that she mistook John's apartment for her own and thought he was an intruder when the door was ajar, Lee Merritt, an attorney for John's family, said 2 witnesses heard someone in the hallway knock on the door before the shooting. So they are about 100% sure that this is what they heard. They heard some knocking at the door. One witness says they heard a woman say, let me in," before the gunshots. And one claims she heard a man's voice yell out, "Oh my God, why did you do that?" after the shooting. Additionally, several of John's neighbors doubted Geiger's claim that she mistook John's apartment for her own because John had a bright red doormat outside the door. In an interview on CNN, Merritt, the attorney, argued that John's door could not have been ajar. It could not have been slightly open. Why is that, Merritt? Because he said as fire doors in the apartment complex close automatically. And I said, what? And I just read that this morning. So I don't know if y'all already heard that, but that out of this whole thing that I read, that part stuck out to me. Because then, girl, we don't even know what you're talking about then. So first of all, you could not have stuck your key in the door and unlocked the door, which she's not saying that she did that, but we know that she could not have done that because the key got a chip in it. So it probably would have went in, but it never would have turned because of the security chip inside the key. All right then. But then you said that the door was slightly ajar when you stuck your key in, the force from sticking it in just popped it open because it was already ajar. But when he said a fire door closes automatically, oh, I know that type of door. I have dealt with them doors in apartment buildings before. Haven't you ever had them doors and they usually have that metal thing at the top part of the door, and then you open up the door and then you got to literally hold the door open. Usually like downstairs doors sometimes have that to apartment buildings or your apartment door. And I know a lot of project doors is exactly like that you got to hold it open, and as soon as you let it go, the door, boom, just closes on its own. So all you got to do is just turn around and lock the door, and then that's about it with your life. So what is she talking about? So then that doesn't even make any sense. So then let me just go on and finish reading what they had to say. It says, in her statement, Merritt also revealed that the same day as John's killing, someone in Geiger's unit made a noise complaint about John's apartment. What's more, it was not the first complaint. Like I said, so where's these papers at? In her statement to police, the 30-year-old Amber Geiger, the Dallas, Texas police officer who killed Botham John, claimed she had arrived outside John's fourth floor apartment by accident when she made a mistake and parked on the fourth floor of the parking lot instead of the third, and then walked up there, and then she didn't even see the rug because she didn't even notice the rug. Okay, so then this is something else. Once again, make sure you follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet, because I just put a posting of that CNN thing that they just showed this morning, because I recorded it, because they show Botham's apartment. So if you want to have a chance to see the inside of his apartment, the layout just a little bit. But let me tell you this, people, before that CNN thing even came on, because I've been up like since 5 o'clock this morning, and for some reason I woke up with this on my mind, and I was like, let me go. No matter of fact, I think I had seen something about some police equipment being found, and I was like, let me go read up on this right quick. So I had already started looking up the address to his apartment building to find a floor plan, because I actually wanted to see the floor plan, because I was surprised that they had not showed that to us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're waiting for. I guess if they gonna so-called put their case together, like, I don't know, but I'm like, I can research it myself. And so then I went to Zillow, I think it was Zillow, and they have some apartments for rent there, not on his floor, but nevertheless, found the floor plan, and all the floor plans are basically the same, where it's, you know, a hallway, and I'm pretty sure there is a light right there where she could have walked in the door, flicked the light, if, you know, we're going by her story. And then she's saying that she's seen him in the distance. But then there are other claims where I guess she originally said that she's seen him up close, but now she's saying she's seen him in the distance, but whatever. Okay, and then this is something else that I found. Oh, the information about the warrant. It says a search warrant obtained Thursday details property seized from Botham John's apartment the night he was fatally shot by Amber Geiger, the Dallas police officer. The search warrant affidavit signed September 7th, the day after the shooting, lists these items, okay? 2 fired cartridge casings. Okay, makes sense because she shot in there twice, she said. 1 laptop computer, 1 black backpack with police equipment and paperwork, okay? 1 insulated lunchbox. Okay. One black ballistic vest with police markings. All righty. 10.4 grams of marijuana in Ziploc bags. 1 metal marijuana grinder, 2 RFID keys, and 2 used packages of medical aid. Then it goes on to say the document does not disclose whom the items belong to. Of course they don't. But look, before I even came on here to talk to y'all about this, I had to sit back and think about that right quick, because I had to read over this a few times. I'm like, okay, 1 black backpack with police equipment and paperwork. Okay, now let me think about this whole thing. Amber is saying, she's claiming that she went inside, you know, the door just popped open, and then she seen the black six, and not like she never once turned the light on. Forget about all of that. But from a distance, she sees a silhouette, and she says something, and then he doesn't respond, and she pulls out a gun and she shoots him twice, shooting him one time in the stomach and killing him. And then she flips on the light. Now, based on other things that I read, it said that she flipped on the light, realized what she had done, that this wasn't even her apartment, and she instantly left out to call the police. But so if you're finding police equipment and paperwork and the insulated lunchbox, what did she drop all her stuff on the floor? So she came in, she dropped all her stuff on the floor. I'm assuming, what did they find that right by the door? She came in, she walked in the apartment, and she seen someone at a distance, and then she dropped her vest, the black ballistic vest with police markings, and her backpack with police equipment and paperwork. She just dropped everything, and then I guess she started shooting and then she left everything in there. I was just really surprised to see that they found police equipment in there. And then you're not saying, I mean, like, why would you not say who it is? Like, who else do we think that it is? Are you saying that when the police came in and then 2 used packages of metal aid? Why? I don't understand. So when she seen that she had killed him, did she get some medical aid and she was trying to fix him? I mean, like, was she trying to see that she can save him? Like, why would that be there? Aren't y'all wondering why 2 used packages of medical aid would be sitting right there? And it was important enough for them to mention that, because they didn't have to mention 2 used packages of medical aid. Now, she's not, now, I'm assuming that she didn't say that she went to go help him. So what is that? So I know that you're not saying that this was the paramedics, because then why would you mention that? So what, the paramedics went in to help him and they dropped 2 used packages of medical aid, and then you would put that inside the search warrant? My whole opinion, once again, I know I love to give my opinion. My whole opinion on this thing is I definitely think that they keep trying to throw a whole lot of different things out there to take our mind off of what we probably originally thought. And what I originally feel is that they knew each other. They somehow knew each other, whether they knew each other because they were dating or they knew each other because of the music thing, if that's a real situation, because you have not shown me anything. But that don't even totally make sense. So see, okay, now you know how that doesn't make sense. They said that she got off a 16-hour shift and she heard music. Okay, so she didn't even get off her 15, 16-hour shift and go home first, because y'all saying that she didn't even know what floor, because she was so delirious, she went on the wrong floor. So how could it had been music? How could that altercation, that shooting, have been about music? Because in that case, she would have had to been delirious and so tired, and then she go inside her apartment, which is directly under his, hear this music, get upset about it, then go upstairs to his apartment, something happens, and then she shoots him and kills him. But that ain't even what happened. Y'all saying she instantly went to his apartment. So how does this have anything to do with music? So she got off for work, went to the wrong floor that she didn't even know that she was going to, heard the music from a distance, and walked up to the apartment. Was the music still playing? How could it have been about music? I'm so confused. Now that I'm talking to y'all about it, it's really registering. How the hell could that have even been about music? Because if his music was loud that night, then when she had heard it when she was going up to the door and been like, oh, hell no. Matter of fact, let me check this door number. And if you go and you look at that CNN video that I put up on Geneva's Closet, you'll see that it had a door number. It said 1478. It said 1478 right there on the side of the door. But I guess she did not see the rug or that. Something is off about that. That's why I'm saying, people, they gonna keep trying to throw little bits and pieces of things all on all the different media sites. BET, Dallas here, Fox here, the CNN, whatever. It's too many, but we got to remember what we originally heard. And we have to remember what the neighbors said, that they heard some banging at the door talking about, let me in, let me in. Now, if it was an altercation about music, would you have bang on the door saying, let me in, let me? I mean, like, that sounds like something else going on. Just like you really want to, get in there because you got some things that you want to say. And then he opens up the door. I'm assuming that he went and opened up the door after you're banging on his door. And for whatever reason, and most of us think, come on now, we gonna keep it real, people. Most of us think that they were dating, okay? And then she got upset because she found out maybe he was dating another white one. He was dating something else. And maybe she got home and was so frustrated, she came right upstairs and said, let me in, got in, dropped all her stuff. They had an altercation, and then she shot him. Because why is her stuff sitting in the house? Why is her stuff sitting on the floor? Wherever it was sitting next. They didn't even say where it was at. It could have been fully. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out where exactly that medical equipment? Because I'm sitting up here saying it was by the door. But what if it was fully in the house by the sofa? And she said she seen him at a distance the second time. Because the first time she said it was a close-up altercation. She opened up the door and he was there. Then the second time, I think after she talked to the Texas Rangers, because they said the Texas Rangers took over really quick. Even though I went to do a little research on Texas Rangers, and it said that that's what they do. Like they're damn near police. They investigate the whole situation. But all of a sudden she get with the Texas Rangers. ranger, and the story changes, and it's no longer that she opened up the door and she's seeing him close up. It's now she opened up the door and it's a silhouette, and she calls out. He doesn't respond, so she takes out the gun and shoots him. Now, it was something else that I had seen. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell y'all about, because I found this interesting. This was on CBS Local. Because don't you know how when sometimes you see, they'll say a person was charged with reckless manslaughter or intentional manslaughter or something like that. Like, you hear these other words in front of it. It said they were surprised, some attorneys that were questioned about this particular case and how Amber Geiger was charged, that she was only charged with manslaughter, not like a first degree murder. And like I told y'all before, and other people said, manslaughter in Texas is, it's generally a felony. You can get anywhere for, I think, 2 to something years and pay a $10,000 fine. So we figured that she's going to totally get off on this thing, probably do 180 days or something like that, it said, and then pay like $1,000 and then be done with it. But it said that attorneys that seen this said that they were surprised that they didn't see the words reckless or intentional, which they say would normally be found on similar documents in manslaughter and murder cases. It is an interesting read, said criminal defense attorney George Milner. It doesn't read anything beyond negligence. Of that, they simply do not specify how she is reckless, which is the required mental state for manslaughter. It reads much more like an accidental thing. I mean, if someone were to drop a gun accidentally and it fired and hit somebody. Milner and others say it doesn't necessarily mean the DA's office doesn't have a case, because the investigation is still ongoing. But he clearly says it's a sign the Texas Rangers were careful not to implicate Officer Geiger. If it was a reasonable mistake of fact, that's an affirmable defense that is going to weigh into this thing very heavily. He said, now this attorney said that, in my honest opinion, if I represented Amber Geiger, she'd walk. I was like, wow. Proof is in the pudding. And attorney said it, the way that they charged her. Didn't I say the Texas Rangers were careful not to implicate her? I think that once they got involved, they made sure to take care of one of their own. They seen, this white, the white snow bunny, she was crying and stuff. And, she probably said that she did know him. And they said, no, don't say that. Do not say that you knew him. She said that, yeah, I walked in and we were having an altercation. They said, no, don't say that. Say you seen him from afar and you seen a silhouette. And they made sure not to put reckless or intentional or do anything with her, where they're implicating a mindset. The attorney said that if he was representing her, she'd walk. So I guess that speaks volumes on what's really going to happen. And considering the fact that with all the new stuff that they're saying about this whole thing, they still have yet to really say anything. Still have yet. Like I said, the biggest thing to me was hearing the attorney say that that's a fire door and the door just automatically closes. The biggest thing to me was to hear that the key has a security chip in it, so you didn't get in that way. The biggest thing to me was hearing that, the part that I just read about whatever I just read. I forgot what I just read. Right, and then that they didn't give her, that they didn't put intentional or reckless on there. Yeah, I definitely think that they're trying to do things to scatterbrain us, but you definitely can't scatterbrain me. We heard and the neighbors are saying that they're 100% sure. I can post that floor plan on Geneva's Closet Facebook page. And another thing that I was a little bit like, no one showed us the garage. Like, I actually wanted to see the garage. I wish somebody would have done a better job of showing us the layout of the apartment. I mean, you showed us the apartment, you showed us some things in the apartment, but you didn't really show where the door was at. You know, like if you're coming into the apartment, what that would look like. So based on what she said, what that would have looked like for this lying, this lying Dallas police officer. Yeah, so I definitely wanted to see the layout of the apartment because I thought that was important. I feel like they're hiding those things for a reason. Just like the rest of the information, just like why would you not say who police stuff that was inside his apartment, and why didn't you push that? Everyone kept talking about the marijuana. Everybody kept talking about that they found marijuana in his place. And then I end up coming to like one article or maybe two that mentioned about the police equipment being found inside his apartment. It should have been put together. You know what I'm saying? They did a search warrant inside Botham John's home. And in addition to them finding marijuana, they also discovered police equipment. We can't say who marijuana it was, and we cannot say who police equipment it was. But they definitely spread the word out there as if they were implicating that the marijuana was his. But then you failed to mention that the police equipment was in his home, and then automatically say that that was Amber's. They didn't do that. In addition to them, because on this CNN video, where they were talking about how Amber was put on leave. That's true. But they also failed to mention that she was put on leave with pay. With pay. Now, we don't even understand why she, not fired, So you arrested her, you charged her, she so-called bonded out, and then you just put her on leave and then still pay her. That's why I don't think that she pay no $300,000 bond. I don't believe that. I don't believe they're gonna make they boo. That's their girl. What y'all talking about? They said she had been in there for 5 years. Something about she had been in there for 5 years or whatever. She was with some special thing or whatever. And we know this is not Amber's first time shooting somebody. She shot somebody because they said that he took a gun or he did something, and he flinched at her, and she got scared, and then she took out the gun and shot him. And I'm pretty dang on sure that they mentioned that to us just to have us feel like that she already had a little bit of, oh my God, because of what she went through before with this black man. I'm pretty sure they're gonna, he's supposed to be black. This black man that did something to her, and he flinched at her, and then she had got scared, and then she put out the gun and shot him. So then when she went inside this apartment that she thought was hers, and then she seen that silhouette, and she tried, stop it, and get out, come out. And then he didn't do nothing. She shot him twice, because she had already been traumatized from before. I'm pretty sure that's why they brought, because why would you even mention that? You don't want to mention nothing else about the chick. I mean, really nothing else, but you mentioned they threw that part out there. And I'm pretty dang on sure that's why, to show that she had already been traumatized previously. You can't traumatize the snow bunnies. You know what I mean? Black women, we resilient as hell, but you can't traumatize. We ain't traumatized. You traumatized all the stuff you done went through in your black life. I'm not traumatized, but you can't traumatize some snow bunnies, because then they don't know what to do with their life. So I just had to come on here. We needed to talk about this. Black Style, y'all know how we do our barbershop, beauty shop talk when we be talking about certain things that's going on. So yeah, like I said again before, I will say it again. Black people, be careful. Be very careful, because they don't need to see you outside doing anything wrong, selling cigarettes in front of the stove. You in the car with your woman, and you go to grab your ID or shift your shirt, and then they pull out the gun and shoot you because they claim they were scared. You walking down the street, and I don't know, and then they just shoot you because they said that you looked at them like you were going to kill. I don't know. You can just be in your apartment living your life and get killed. And let me tell y'all something, white people. If you want me to change the way I'm saying that white people can just come up in your apartment and kill you, they will come up in there and kill you now. Black people, police officers will do. If you don't like the way that I'm saying that, all you got to do is tell Amber to tell the truth. To be honest, and say that they knew each other and they were in their eye again. Because then we would no longer say that. Because then we'll be like, okay, she was wrong for killing them, but now we're getting a little bit down packed with what's going on, because until then, no, white people will, and police officers, now we cannot trust them. They will come up in your home and kill you for apparently no reason, just, because she was delirious and she didn't see that red rug in front of that bright red U shape sitting in front of the door. And even though it was a light, she didn't even think to flick the light when she, But anyway, people, make sure again you follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. It's a dang on shame. And my personal Facebook page at Geneva McLean. It's a dang on shame that we got to be talking about these things, people. But yep, just wanted to talk about it and say and tell it the way that I heard it. And then we can kind of, you know what? And then I do want to say this before I go. My people that come and y'all comment on the bottom of the videos, y'all be bringing out a lot of good points. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, wow, I hadn't even thought about that. So make sure that you leave your comments at the bottom, because y'all be putting extra tea. If you get some links to anything that's new information, make sure you put that down there, because we all trying to figure this out together, aren't we? Because we already done figured out we can't trust the news media people. We knew that prior to that BS that they did Thursday, only mentioning the marijuana that they found in Botham John's house. When we seen that, we already knew that they was on a bunch of BS, but I fully felt they were on a bunch of BS when I found out that also police equipment, Amber's, was Amber's, was found there, and we still trying to figure out why was some used medical equipment. Was she trying to fix her man? Was she devastated because she couldn't believe that she had just shot her man? Or she had shot someone? Or did she leave out like she had originally said? Tell me what y'all think, people. You have a fabulous day. You have a fabulous Saturday. Like I said, make sure you follow me. I will put the layouts of the apartment on Geneva's Closet Facebook page, people. But you have a fabulous Saturday. I will talk to you later, people. Bye.